Next, a subject complement used after a copular or linking words. The fact is that he does not know the answer. The fact is that he does not know the answer. Tells us more about subject fact. So that is complement. Here in this sentence, the subject is the fact, and the noun clause says something more about the subject, that is the fact. That he does not know the answer, that is the fact. His greatest fear is that he may not be successful. Here tells us more of the subject. Subject is fear. And says something more. What is the fear? That he may not be successful. Her wish is that she becomes an actress. Here the subject talks about the subject wish. He wished what? That she becomes an actress. Last one. An element in opposition to a noun or pronoun. You must always remember this, that hard work always pays. That is in opposition to the pronoun this. You have to look at here. You must always remember this. There is a comma. So when a noun clause is used, an element in opposition to a noun or pronoun, you have to use the comma. Here noun clause is that hard work always pays. Do you still believe that the lie, comma, that it was Sumesh who stole the money? Here in opposition to the noun lie. Suresh had the same opinion that we must quit the club. It is in opposition to the noun opinion. When a noun follows another noun or pronoun to describe it, the second noun is said to be in opposition to the first. A noun clause doing the work of a noun is therefore in opposition to the noun it describes. In the first sentence, the noun clause is in opposition to the pronoun this. The second sentence, the noun clause is in opposition to the noun lie. The third sentence, the noun clause is in opposition to the noun opinion. So these are the different functions of noun clause. I hope you understand what is noun clause. Noun clause is a subordinate clause. It does the function of a noun, and we use noun for different purposes. Likewise, noun clause is used to show different purposes. First, subject of the verb, second, object of the verb, third, object of a preposition, fourth, subject complement, fifth, in opposition to a noun or pronoun. Exercise 3. Underline the noun clause and write is the grammatical function. That is the subject, object, subject complement, object of preposition, or an element of opposition to a noun or pronoun. It is you have to look at the sentence and find out the noun clause. And what function does a noun clause does in this sentence? That is the meaning of the exercise. I will use examples. That he will participate is certain. Here, he will participate is certain. That is noun clause, and it is object of the preposition that. She says her brother is not well. Here noun goes, her brother is not well. That is, that her brother is not well, that is not mentioned. So it does the function of the object of the verb says. She says what? I don't know that he was guilty. That he was guilty is a noun clause, and it is the object of the verb. It does the function of the object of the verb know. So the remaining examples you have to do it. Now, second, adjective or relative clauses. Look at these sentences. The new coat is in the car. Which coat? The new coat. The coat which I bought yesterday is in the car. Which coat? The first sentence, the word new describes the coat. That means it is an adjective. First sentence, the word new is an adjective. It describes the noun coat. That means it is an adjective. In the second sentence, the clothes which I bought yesterday modifies the noun coat. So it is an adjective clause. That means it does the work of an adjective, so it is therefore an adjective clause. That is called adjective clause. In a simple way, you have to learn that adjective clause is a clause that does the function of an adjective. Generally speaking, adjective may be one or two words, but here in adjective clause we have a clause does the function of an adjective. An adjective clause is a subordinate clause which contains a subject and a predicate and does the work of an adjective. An adjective clause is a subordinate clause which contains a subject and a predicate and does the work of an adjective. An adjective clause is usually placed immediately after the noun or pronoun it modifies. An adjective clause is usually placed immediately after the noun or pronoun it modifies, while an adjective often comes before the noun or pronoun. To introduce an adjective clause, we use first the relative pronouns such as who, whom, whose, which, that. So to introduce, that means we use these words with an adjective clause. She is the girl who works in my office. So here the girl is the noun and says something more about the girl, that is who works in my office. That is an adjective clause. The computer which I usually use has crashed. Here the computer is a noun and says something more about the computer, that is which I usually use. So it is a relative adjective clause. He has lost the painting that you gave him. He has lost the painting. Say something about the painting. What happened? That you gave him. Say more about the painting. So that you gave him is a adjective clause. The sentences above, who, which, and that are the relative pronouns used to introduce adjective clauses. Who, which, and what, that are called relative pronouns. They are used to introduce adjective clauses. Who, whom, and whose are used for persons which were things which for things, and that can be used for both persons and things. If the noun is a person, you have to use the relative pronoun who, whom, and whose. In the noun is a thing, we use the relative pronoun which, and that relative pronoun that can be used both persons and things. You have to be careful, that is an exception. That is a relative pronoun which can be used for both persons and things. Now, relative adverbs, where, when, why, they are called relative adverbs. I have visited the place where Lord Krishna born. I have visited the place where Lord Krishna born. The time when the flight will land has not been announced. The time when the flight will land has not been announced. I don't know the reason why he is so upset. I don't know the reason why he is so upset. In the sentences above, where, when, and why are relative adverbs used to introduce adjective clauses. So that means we use relative pronoun or relative adjectives to introduce or to begin with an adjective clause. Such adjective clauses specify place, time, and reason. Here, where, to show place, because where the Lord Krishna born. Second, when, that shows time. Third, why, that shows the reason. We sometimes omit relative pronouns or relative adverbs while introducing adjective clauses, but these are understood. You know, sometimes it is not necessary to use relative pronouns. We omit it, but when we read the sentence, we can understand it is understood. Example, Anubhava saw a girl, she know. The relative pronoun whom is understood, so there is no necessary to put the relative pronoun whom there. Second, the reason, that is why he has come is to ask for my car. The relative adverb why is understood, that is why he put in bracket. The reason he has come to ask for my car, here why should be used, but it should not use. But we understood that there is a why there.